Mike Angelino Sports. I got the man, the myth, the legend, my boy Edgar, a boxing insider, boxing aficionado, boxing historian. He's here and he's blessing us with the game. All right, my boy, what's up? How you been?
What's up, Joe? Mike, the metal, right here, bro. Just chilling for now. Yeah.
Hey, man, after every fight, I want to talk to you. Why? Because you're a historian and you understand the game, the ins, the is, the right, the left, the up of the fight. There's two fights I want to talk to you, and I've been wanting to talk to you. Of course, you're very busy. You have your career. You do porn. I'm just playing. You have your career. I'm just playing. You're very busy, and I wanted to touch with you. I want you to explain to me the Canelo fight versus Saunders. I want you to explain to me the Ramirez fight versus Taylor fight. They have the same coach, Davidson. Ben Davidson was the same coach for the Saunders fight and for the what's the other guy? Taylor's. He had the same coach, same southpaw, kind of similar game plan, but different. Different fighters, different game plan, but some similarities. So I want you to break it down, make the connections, and what happened, and et cetera, et cetera. So let's start off with the Canelo fight. Since the weigh-in, what you see? Did you see he came in disrespecting? Is that a game plan? The strategy? Boom, 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 boom. Give it to me.
Yeah, well, we know that Billy Joe Saunders was gonna try to like every single strategy to try to get into Canelo's head. It was just a mental game, and he was trying to do his plan. And unfortunately, Canelo, I think, has a lot of experience by now, and it's gonna be very hard to get into his head. He seemed calm the whole time. Way in, and the way he moved in the ring, the way he established himself, the way he adjusted throughout the fight, round by round. I mean, we're talking about a killer machine right here. I think this is the ultimate killer machine. It's unbeatable right now, bro. With Jose Ramirez, you're right. I think I saw a very similar plan coming from the same coach. Mm-hmm. I think both southpaws, lefties, moving around in circles around us, keeping the fighting with inside, the middle of the ring, mm-hmm. Establishing a lot of jabs, keeping their distance and stuff. Unfortunately, I think Ramirez had a hard time adjusting to that style. I honestly think that, like I said before, Ramirez, I think, trained to establish his style, not to eliminate Taylor's certain, how should I say, strategies, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. talent that he has. I think he got frustrated throughout the fight. That jab, he was never able to adjust to that jab. Taylor was playing, moving around, left, right, moving his head, and he was never stable. He couldn't find him. I know Jose Ramirez was trying to get the fight inside. He was throwing those hooks, but unfortunately, he wasn't throwing that many jabs. He wasn't getting close where he wanted to. Very, very, I didn't see that many body shots. I wish he could go more to the body. I think that would have hurt Taylor, But like I said, I think he had a harder time adjusting to that style, where Canelo, he took him 3 rounds. After the 3rd round, he knew already what, BJ was about. He knew every shot that he was going to throw. I remember at the beginning, if you remember, Billy Joe Saunders was jabbing with the right, jabbing. He's throwing those jabs, moving around in circles, like I said, trying to keep Canelo inside. And then he would go in and out, and then he would throw jab, and then he would dug. He would dug really low, and then sometimes jab, and then he'll throw like a short hook, mm-hmm. like inside, and then it got Canelo like twice.
Yeah.
But then after the 3rd or 4th fight, he tried to do the same thing. He jab, and then he went down low, and then Canelo was hitting him in the body. So then he adjusted by jabbing, going low, but within distance. And that's when Canelo started throwing the uppercuts. And eventually started getting, that's the type of fighter that Canelo is. He's going to find a way to adjust to whatever you're throwing. And he's going to get you. He's just timing you, Unfortunately, with Ramirez, I think he was following a game plan. and he was just like, okay, you know what? My plan. I worked hard to fight, with inside, and that's my plan. And I'm gonna establish myself as an inside fighter.
Yeah.
I don't think he was able to adjust throughout the fight.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest difference. I think it has to do with the fighters. That one is able to think and adjust by himself, and that's what put Canelo in the elite, level that he is.
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah, like you said, it's like Canelo left the blueprint how to beat a southpaw. It's not easy, man. Of course,
No,
you're
no,
talking
no.
about Canelo, but he left a little blueprint for Ramirez to say, "Hey, man, this is what you have to do to neutralize getting hit with the uppercut. This is what you need to do to neutralize the jab." Canelo was throwing these little baby jabs, and he was moving to the right and then throwing that boom, that body shot right in the middle of the stomach. Sometimes he went up, but most of the time he went boom. And then also he was going to the body early, boss. And then Billy Joe Saunders was moving. And like you said, it took him 3 rounds. Canelo was it took Canelo 3 rounds. Billy Joe Saunders was ducking, and Canelo was missing a couple of the rounds. Like, damn, Canelo's missing. But and then Canelo was he got his timing and he adjusted. And then Billy Joe Saunders threw a hook. Canelo went like this and got him with that uppercut. Broke his face. And Ramirez should have established that jab and moved to that angle with like Canelo and threw that shot.
Threw that shot, yep.
And he got caught coming in. What about? I want you to tell me about the when he got knocked down the first time. Let's talk about the first knockdown. It was a flash knockdown. Was he hurt? Was he able to recover?
I think it looked like he was able to recover, but honestly, I don't think he was able to recover. And not only physically, I'm talking about the mental part. Because I heard him talk like after the interview, and the whole time, if you're conscious that you're already being knocked down, you already know that you're already behind 10-8 in that round, Yeah. So you're gonna try to force yourself in the next round to come up and do the same to catch up, especially if it's a close fight. But then when you go down twice in 2 different rounds, the 6th and the 7th, then it's, mentally sometimes, you're not, able to adjust, or think clearly,
Yeah.
But honestly, yes, I agree. I totally agree that he should have thrown more jabs. I think he needed a little more, like you said, moving, cutting the angles, to the blind side where, for Billy Joe, that's what Canelo did,
Yeah.
And then that's one thing that Jose needs to work on, I think, cutting those angles. I think Canelo is an expert. He leads you to wherever he wants you to go all the time. If you notice his footwork, he steps in, but with the footwork on the outside of your left to throw you to your right or vice versa. He wants you to go to a specific side because he has a plan in mind. So and Ramirez, I didn't see that. He was just frontal fighter going forward. Trying to get that inside game at all times. So I mean, 2 totally different fighters, and I mean,
yeah, and I like that point you said. Marquez said it too. Marquez said you fight with your hands, but you also fight with your feet. You have to establish that you're where you want your feet, because you could put your foot outside and you make them go the other way. You cut off the ring. That's what Canelo did. And if you study the fight, and Ramirez needs to work on that. To it's called ring generalship. You're the general in the ring. You make them do what you want. Tú vas a pelear como yo quiera. And so all right, I want you to give me your opinion on the knockdown, Ramirez. Kenny Bayless, did he make a mistake? It happens in boxing. Protect yourself at all times. Or you know what? That's dirty. That's not respectable. Why do you do that? And we talked about it when you called me. They happened to Canelo. They did it to him. Saunders did it to Canelo. Same coach, same strategy, same. So if you could give me that info, was it dirty when they dropped Ramirez? Or what do you?
You know what?
Blame it on.
If you really, it's something that, I mean, sportsmanship, it shouldn't happen, but honestly, it's protect yourselves at all times. It happened with Mayweather and then what is it?
Victor Ortiz.
And then Victor Ortiz did it, before that as well, So it's like, like you said, you got to be ready at all times, So, I mean, Taylor, you can't really blame him. Sometimes you have to be a little bit dirty, maybe it's not the proper thing to do, it's sportsmanship, but you know what? You're in a boxing match, and you're going to try to utilize every single strategy or every little advantage that it's given to you,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, honestly, I think it wasn't, a big deal. I think Ramirez should have been ready. He should have known that it was coming. And I mean, he got caught, he got caught. And unfortunately, I think that was a moment that thing changed the whole fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because that knockout right there, like I said, physically he went down and it took him a while to recover, but also mentally, I don't think he recovered throughout the fight afterwards.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
So it was and I think it was a great fight. It was a good fight, man. Just those two knockdowns made the difference, but it was good, man. He even had Taylor in the early rounds. I think he had him a little hurt. What do you think in the early rounds?
Yeah. No, and it was an excellent fight. If you really look at the fight, it was like the whole fight was entertaining. It was back and forth, exchanging, moving around. It wasn't. These guys came to fight, and it was a beautiful fight, very close fight too. I did have, like I said, Josh on top, but regardless, I think they deserve props, both of them. Josh. Actually, I was surprised with Josh Taylor. How I knew he was good, but I didn't think he was. I mean, the way he looked very good. So. I think his plan, the way he was moving, his tempo, his timing was correct. I think he came ready and no.
And for a reason,
it was a great fight.
And for a reason, they were fighting to be undisputed. It wasn't going to be an easy fight, man.
Undisputed, yeah.
It wasn't going to be,
No.
Ramirez was going to make history. He was going to be the first Mexican of Mexican descent or Mexican American to be undisputed, but hey, man, it didn't work out, and now Canelo is gonna try to make history.
Yeah.
Go ahead, real quick. Who wins a rematch if they fight again? You think there should be a rematch? When should be?
I think so. I don't think it's gonna happen right away. I think Josh is gonna explore other horizons. Way of making money. He knows no matter what, if they face again, it's gonna be another tough fight. Things might be a little bit different if they face again. Just, he has time. Ramirez is smart and he's young and he's learning. So, I mean, he just has to correct a couple of mistakes, But like I said, that I don't think that fight is going to happen anytime soon. I hope it does, but I don't think it's coming up right now.
Yeah, when they asked Grandpa, Robert Garcia, when they asked Robert Garcia, they said, I'm surprised it wasn't in the negotiations. I'm like, oh man, so we're not getting this fight again for a while.
No, I don't think so. Not right now. So I heard that he wants to move. Josh Taylor wants to go after Crawford.
Yeah. How do you see that? I don't know. So 147 pounder.
Crawford's. Yeah, and Crawford is at 147. That's another elite fighter that you want to avoid,
Yeah.
Especially you coming out of 140 to fight Crawford.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Taylor's good, but I don't think he's ready for Crawford.
Yeah, no. Crawford's a different animal, like you said, elite fighter. You have to get a fight or two, but maybe a fight to adjust to the weight. It's 147 pounds, 7 pounds. I mean, it may from the ordinary. They'll be like, oh, 7 pounds ain't nothing. That's a lot, man. If you're not used to the punches, used to the weight. And the Crawford's pretty big for a 147 pounder. He's tall and he's strong. He has power. He has power for 47er. So, so where do you see Canelo? What's next? He's trying to be undisputed. What's going on? Plant is the target? Is it going to happen? He's pretty hard to get.
Plan is gonna, the plan has Canelo, that's on his mind. He's focused on becoming undisputed at 168. Mm-hmm. So that's the only fight that really matters for Canelo at this point. And Caleb Plant knows it too. So I heard he's asking for 10 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Just to fight Canelo. So I mean, he's playing his cards. I mean, you can't blame him. He's smart. You know that, that fight is going to produce revenue, and it's a lot of money, So I think it would happen. Is they're just going to be back and forth with negotiations, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen because at some point he's going to have to give in and say, you know what? Okay, let's do it. Give me some amount of money and let's do it. Yeah. Eventually, if he doesn't, then Canelo's just probably going to move on, pass him, and then maybe he end up losing the title to somebody else, So that's a lot of money. I don't think he wants to risk it either, But honestly, just focusing on the fight, I think should be a very interesting fight. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, not like Billy Joe Saunders, but I think same outcome. 7/8 rounds, I think Canelo will take him down. I just don't see anybody right now.
So, and what you're trying to say is easy work? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say? Easy work?
Not easy, because no fight is easy, especially with Caleb Khan being a champion undefeated, and he's talented. He has very good speed. He's very fast. He moves around. A very smart fighter. Unfortunately, I don't think he has the power. First of all, to hurt Canelo. Yeah. I don't think he has the IQ to beat Canelo, and to hurt Canelo. I mean, Triple G, all these guys try to hurt Canelo. They hit him. Right now, I don't think there isn't anybody out there for Canelo, to be honest. Maybe a couple of years from now, I'm pretty sure someone, maybe Benavidez with more experience, will be a fighter that could probably, dethrone Canelo down the line, but not right now.
That's what I was going to ask you. So, you're saying maybe in the future. What, he can't hang with them right now?
I don't think so. I don't think he has experience to fight a Canelo. Benavidez is still young. He's a very young fighter. I don't think he's been in a fighting fighters like Canelo, being in that sort of stage where with all that pressure and stuff. And then Canelo's been fighting the best for a while, bro. Champion after champion. He's proven himself. And he's an all-around fighter right now. Just alone his experience, all-around game, that way he adjusts, I think, if he was to fight Benavidez right now, he'll exploit these weaknesses and you probably finish him, maybe 10th round.
He'll knock him out? Wow.
Oh yeah, I think right now he probably would.
Canelo's hitting hard. After the Billy Joe Saunders fight, no, even before, he it's like when he hits people, they don't want to come out of their shell anymore. He broke this guy's face, dude, with an uppercut, bro. It's just like, where did he's getting?
Dude, how strong is this guy?
Yeah.
So this is what people don't understand. Sometimes people criticize Canelo for whatever reason, whatever it is, but they don't see the boxing, the techniques, what it takes to be a Canelo. If you study every Canelo fight, he doesn't step to the ring with the same plan. Every fight is different. If you think about it, when he fought Jacobs, he was moving around, all the head moving, making him miss, jabbing, stepping in and out, taking advantage of the little mistakes, When he fought Kovalev, he fought on the inside. When he fought the last time against Smith, dude, he was long. So what did he do? He started hitting him in the arms to numb his arms,
Yeah.
It's just power him. And now against Billy Joe, we saw different things doing against Billy Joe. Yeah, he started jabbing, he started going inside, he started hitting the body, and then he started getting him with the uppercut. So, what Canelo are you gonna face? This guy's gonna adjust to, no matter what plan you have, he's gonna adjust to it.
Yeah, so. And what I saw with the Saunders fight is Canelo was very composed. He didn't go out of his limit. You're gonna fight how I want to fight. So they were standing off, and Canelo was like, no, you're shooting first. Yeah. And then Canelo used to throw a finta, and then that fool shot, and then Canelo worked. And then Canelo, it's like Canelo was in total control, like you said in the beginning. And then he finally got the distance, and he measured them and everything. Boom, catching them, boom, 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 working them, getting those angles, hitting that shot straight down the pipe. It was just beautiful how if you see the fight and if you admire the maturation of Canelo, how he's getting better and better and better and better. Yeah. And let me tell you about the haters and the fighters that are hating on him. There's Bubo Andrade, There's the Charlo that's a 160. He never fought at 168, but he wants the smoke. Benavidez, I like the kid, so he doesn't talk trash, but he wants to fight. Uh, uh, what do you think of those guys? Especially Andrade and Charlo, and they're saying that Canelo is evading black fighters. Last time I checked, Mayweather is black. Is he Mexican or he's black?
Right.
Last time
Canelo's fought what nine African American fighters. So how is that? Avoiding. He fought what Mosley. He
yeah,
fought Jacobs. He fought Trout.
Lara.
He
I
fought
mean,
Lara.
he's not
He fought
African American.
Mayweather. Kirtland. Like
Kirk.
all these black fighters. So it's not about avoiding them. They all want the money, bro. At the end of, they just want a payday. Exactly. That's what it is. Because if they really wanted to fight Canelo, okay, you know what? Prove yourself. How do you prove yourself? If you're under 160, you got Jacobs that you can fight. You have Triple G that you can make a fight with. You have, it's all of them. It's Jacobs, Triple G, Andrade, Charlo. Make a fight within each other. Prove yourself, and then move yourself up to 168 to fight Canelo. But like I said, they call at each other. They always calling at each other, but they find nobodies. How many times we heard Charlo calling out Triple G? He's been calling out Andrade. He's been calling out, Canelo, but nothing gets done. At the end, he ends up fighting, taxi drivers. Like I said, you got to prove yourself. And how could you be mad at Canelo when he's fighting champion after champion? He's fighting 3 times a year, bro.
Exactly.
He's setting the example. He's the face of boxing. If anything, that's what we wanted to see, more of fighters, fighting more often and fighting the champions out there, So, people are going to be hating no matter what all the time. So when somebody's going to they're going to try to find an excuse not to give you that credit that you deserve, Same thing happened with Mayweather, bro. When Mayweather was on top of his game, people didn't like his style, whatever reason, but he was effective. He was doing it right, Unfortunately, you're always going to have that fan base following you, supporting you, but you're always going to have those haters that are going to find any little excuse not to give you the credit that you deserve,
Yeah, and Canelo, they're saying, oh, he's picking his fighters. Well, yeah, Canelo's the A side. Mayweather was the A side. De La Hoya was the A side. The A side is the cash cow, the Uno, the one he sold 168,000 seats or more. He broke the record. If I'm not mistaken,
173.
173 broke the record in Azteca, right? The Chavez had.
Oh, no, he hasn't fought in Azteca, but it's the record for more fans inside, like a dome and stuff, 73,000.
Okay.
For the outside, is Chavez has 136 at Azteca.
Okay, I got you. I heard, I got it kind of mixed up, but he broke the record of a dome, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. He's putting the butts in the seats in the tail end of a pandemic, dude.
Exactly.
I mean, dude, fight somebody. These guys, Andrade, if I'm not mistaken, Andrade, he's evading black fighters. Andrade last 3 out of 4 fights, he fought Europeans.
Yeah.
What's the problem? You're evading black fighters if you want to break it down like that. I mean, those are intriguing fights, but Charlo's at 160. He shouldn't be talking. He should go up to 168 and start hunting down Canelo by knocking out Benavidez, by knocking out Smith, by knocking out Saunders or something to make a statement. Exactly. Like, hey, man, what's up? I want you. Go to his press conference and what's up? I want. But they're not doing it. It's just all talk.
Yeah, exactly. It's a payday, But yeah, you're right. If you want to, put yourself in that position, then fight all the fighters that Canelo just beat, and then say, you know what, the same fighters he beat, I beat them as well, So then you're making a statement, But calling out and then, it's just getting boring already. Everybody calls out everyone, but then again, they find nobody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of Reynoso? Is he the best coach so far in the game?
You know what, bro? Honestly, I have to say he is now.
Wow.
He hands down, I think he's the best coach out there. The way I've seen Valdez and Canelo, perform lately, this guy has a different mentality, bro. He doesn't train to just, perform well. He's going to find a way to prepare you to come 100% prepared for the fight. And what do I mean 100%? Not just establish your game, but eliminate the other opponent's strengths. He seems like he has a game a game plan, and if it doesn't work, he has a B plan already, on the side. It's
Yeah.
like this guy's ready for whatever's coming. He keeps adjusting. I remember against Smith, Canelo was trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and I remember Reynoso telling him, "Hey, you know what? Relax, follow the plan, stay with the plan," because I think Canelo saw weakness and he knew he could hurt him earlier. But it's like, no, stay with the plan. So I was like, damn, that
Yeah.
just tells you that they have everything measured, round by round. They know when to pressure, they know when to, study and everything. So yeah, no, hands down, I think he's the best, without a doubt. He's the best probably trainer right now.
Yeah, dude. I love Reynoso, what he's doing to his stable. He's
It's crazy, bro.
resurrecting old fighters or fighters that don't have nothing. The Cuban, now he has the heavyweight, the Chicano, Andy Reese. Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't look
yeah.
so well, but trust me, he's gonna get better. Um, Garcia and Canelo's getting better. So he's stepping up his game, man. He's getting better and better and better.
Oh
Um,
yeah. You know what? What do you think about Panterita leaving the stable?
dude, yeah, he said what I on an interview when he left, they're training me like Canelo, like they're training you like the best. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
And he left and he got knocked out.
exactly. So I think he regrets it now. I don't think he liked the discipline, bro, because Reynoso is very disciplined and he likes fighters that are gonna follow his discipline. So I think that was the biggest problem with Panterita. But hey,
And
it is what it is.
one last thing, I know you have to, you're doing some stuff. One last thing that you told me last time, and I liked it. The GOAT of coaching of Mexico, Julio Hernandez, is he the GOAT of coaches, of trainers?
Oh yeah, I think so, dude. He developed so many champions. Dude.
Can you
It's
name some champions that he developed?
the last one was Finito Lopez, bro. He started Finito Lopez, La Chiquita Gonzalez. He
Wow.
worked with uh,
Flaco.
yeah, no, he had what's his name? Uh, oh my god, the guy
Uh,
that used to drink a lot. What's his name? Zaragoza.
Zaragoza. Zaragoza.
Yeah. Like he worked with
Oh my
Pino
God.
Cueva. Yeah, no, he developed that style. No, he and Berenstein learned from him actually, because
Okay.
he used to help him out. He was
Okay.
his
Okay.
assistant and stuff. And when
I
he
didn't know that.
retired, yeah, when he retired, he picked up Finito, but Finito was already developed. He just uh you know kept working with them and stuff. But was Finito
Okay.
already done by Cuyo and stuff?
Oh
But no,
wow.
yeah. So I think he's the best legendary coach in Mexico.
Wow.
Second to that was probably Berenstein, but right now, without a doubt, it hands down is Reynoso, bro. Yeah, and what I like about Reynoso is that he's different. He's putting a different flavor to the style,
Mhm.
something that Mexicans are not used to it.
Exactly.
I think a lot of Mexicans want to do, they want to go to see the blood. They want them to exchange and just go forward and exchange, and like Macias, El Raton Macias, he used to do that. Just him and Pipino, they used to go at it, those type of fights. That's what they like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think Reynoso is changing. It's like, no, you know what? We're gonna perfect the game now. It's not just about going forward. It's timing. It's about head movement. It's about footwork. It's about knowing when to step in. It's about training yourself physically. It's about combinations. It's about everything. It's not just so. So some people like it, some people don't. But I think it's great what
Beautiful.
he's doing.
It's
You
beautiful,
know?
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you hear Reynoso talk, when they interview him, he talks about Willie Pep, Sugar Ray Robinson. He talks
Oh
about
yeah.
Ali. It's like this guy is a fucking a student of the game, dude. A student of
Oh
the
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
hands down, man. Hands down. I think the best trainer. I love Robert Garcia, but I think he is second now in the Mexican trainers. With all due respect, I love Garcia, but Reynoso's coming. Either by a little bit, Reynoso's taking over the boxing game. I don't know.
I think he did already. To be honest, I mean, Robert Garcia's a great
Hall of Fame.
He's a great coach. Nothing
Yeah.
against Robert, you know.
Yeah.
Especially developing new fighters. He's great at developing new fighters and stuff like that. But I think Reynoso is the type of fighter that trainer that is gonna take it to a different level, you know. And I think there's very few coaches that could do that. We're talking about a Phil Jackson right here, you know. Just a different type of coach, you know, just a different type of person, different mentality, you know. We could have a lot of good coaches and a lot of great boxers, but you know, there's some people that exceed, you know, that level, you know. And I think Reynoso is one of those. He's a perfectionist that, you know, he, like you said, he studies the game, he studies the boxers, he knows his history, and he's gonna do everything, you know, it takes to make you win, you know. So I mean, Mexicans are blessed right now to have a coach like that, you know, and hopefully more develop, you know, just with that same mentality, you know.
And he's so young in the game; he has a lot of years.
So very humble guy too. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to let us know? Bless us with the game. Anything else before? Because I know you're doing some. You have to stuff. You gave me a little bit of your time, man. I appreciate that. Anything else you want to talk about?
Dude, I think we're leaving boxing's back again. I think now I could feel it. You know, like boxing's back. You know, and I think we have the best representative that we can have. You know, Face of Boxing is making it happen again. You know, people are actually excited to see real boxing again. You know, dude, another legend coming up and showing the same footsteps. You know, Pacquiao, dude, fighting Spence in Vegas, August 27, I believe, or the 21st.
Something like that.
Dude, like, why are these young fighters not picking up from Canelo and Pacquiao? You know, fucking Pacquiao already, you know, 40 something, and he's still fighting elite fighters like Spence, young fighters, bro. Like, come on, you know, he fought Sturman. This guy's a legend. He doesn't need to fight him, but he's sending a message. It's, you know, it's like sending a message out there. You know what? Make it happen, you know?
Who wins that fight?
But I'm good.
Who wins that fight?
You know what? Shoot. I love Pacquiao, you know, and Mike, it's going to be an interesting fight. It's not going to be an easy fight. It's going to be a hard fight just because I feel that Pacquiao still has speed, which is going to make it complicated for Spence.
Yeah.
But Spence is young, you know, he's strong. He's going to come, you know, so shoot. Man, I don't know. I want Pacquiao, but my heart tells me that it's probably going to be a Spence, you know.
Spence by 12 rounds decision. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Man, dude. Yeah, I can't wait for that fight. I think this Saturday is gonna be a good fight. What's his name? I keep forgetting. El Niño de Oro. Remember we talked about it? He's gonna fight.
Yeah.
What's the young prospect he's gonna fight?
Shoot, ¿cómo se llama? I know there's a couple of fights. Linares
versus what's that kid's name?
Oh my God,
let me Google it right now.
Oh my God, what's blanking out right now?
Linares versus
Haney, no?
David Haney. Yeah. That's a good fight, man. They're saying Linares is done. He's a veteran, dude.
He's a veteran, yeah. He's still dangerous, you know. Fought a good fight against Loma, but you know, fortunately, you know, Loma was able to capitalize and adjust to his game, you know.
Yeah. But we don't know because these old fighters are resurrecting themselves, getting their second win. Chocolatito, look, he gave a beautiful fight.
Oh, yeah.
He even said he won. So we don't know with these old fighters, man. Pacquiao resurrected himself. Marquez is he's gonna fight.
And I heard Marquez
versus Logan Paul or whatever. The other brother. All right, I'm getting carried away. Yeah, man. So I don't know. That's a good fight. I think I'm gonna go on the limb. Is that how you say it? Whatever. I think Linares is gonna beat the kid. What do you think?
Think so?
I think so. The kid hasn't fought nobody, dude. This is the great test. So I think he's gonna upset the kid, man. What do you think?
I hope so. Because that would hopefully that will get Haney to fight these other fighters, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes that's what they need, you know, like losing, you know, an L in the record so they could be able to fight other fighters, you know?
Yeah, and you learn.
Yeah,
How's the
you
time
learn.
looking? How's the time looking? You're almost.
No, we're
Yeah.
good. We're
Oh,
good.
we're still good. All right. Uh, yeah, like you said, sometimes you lose, but you have to learn from the losses. Like Canelo, that's a great example.
Oh,
You
yeah.
you don't win and you lose. You win and you learn. And
And you learn.
Ramirez, I hope with the Garcia camp and everyone, he's gonna learn. Hey man, sometimes you gotta be a dirty fighter. When Vargas had Trinidad hurt, guess what Trinidad did? Boom, hit him in the balls.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you gotta grab it. Sometimes you gotta take a knee down. I seen a heavyweight. I forgot his name. He knocked out Klitschko. I forgot my boy's name. He took a knee, got up, knocked out Klitschko.
Yeah.
Brewster, heavyweight Brewster. So you gotta have the cormillo. That's what my dad tells me. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
be smart, man. You gotta be smart.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Like, you know, you can't blame Taylor for taking advantage of that little opportunity. You know, sometimes you just, like you said, you got to be ready at all times. And sometimes, unfortunately, you have to kind of fight a little dirty, you know, throw some colmillo, like you said, in there, you know?
Exactly.
So, but, you know, it is what it is.
What do you think of the heavyweight fight? Andy Reese. How do you look? I talked to one of my boys. He said that he looked bad, bro. And I was like, he did, but he did. Dude, you get dropped and you get back up and you win the fight. They say win the fight and look pretty in the next fight. It wasn't pretty, but he won the fight. What do you think? What do you think?
It was a very close fight. I think it was a good fight, to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? People expect him to do better because Arreola had been in not fighting for a while, whatever it is, and then new Reese losing weight coming into new camp with Reynoso. They expect him all of a sudden to be the next Canelo. People have to remember that it takes time. You know, adjusting from one coach to another, it takes time. It's not that easy. It's not going to happen in one fight. When Reynoso picked up Oscar Valdez, the first fight, people criticized him that, that he didn't look good, but he did show signs of better defense. And now that he's been with Reynoso for a longer period of time, now you could see the actual improvement. Now you see a whole different ballgame. You see a totally different Valdez, a more defensive fighter, a better combination, better timing, better condition, stronger. Now you could see the results. Now you see his results basically.
Yeah.
So I think with Reeves, the same thing. I mean, we saw a fight that maybe he wasn't too convincing, but I think with time, I think the next fight that he fights, he's going to look much better because eventually the system is going to kick in. Whatever Reynoso's, working with them is going to start to show little by little, So,
okay. So I want to ask you this. Tyson Fury was going to fight, what's his name? The heavyweight, Joshua. It didn't happen because he's giving Deontay Wilder the rematch because it was in the contract and they went to court or something, whatever. Now, Joshua doesn't have no one to dance with. All right. So now the name Usyk is coming up and my boy Andy Reese is coming up. You think Andy Reese should take the fight if they give him the opportunity? And also, you think Andy Reese should fight the Cubano Ortiz? Or he should get another a fight with a guy that's a gatekeeper, kind of like Arreola type, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Joshua is he's gonna want to fight Fury for the money because that's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So I think he's gonna go for the easiest fight possible right now, just to stay.
So not Usyk,
active.
Not Usyk, and not my boy.
He'll probably go with somebody with no name, just to kind of stay active, just to get the fight for with Fury, or Wilder,
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So I don't think he wants to, if he loses that championship, it's gone, So I don't see him facing Reese right now. That'll be a great fight for Reese. I think with time now with Reynoso, I think he'll be interesting. I think Reese can actually, maybe provide a different game plan, make it a better fight for Joshua.
Yeah.
And I do see that fight happening sometime in the near future. It was 1-1. So I think it's
true.
sometime down the line. Yeah.
What about the Cubano? Is he ready for the Cuban?
Dude, that Cuban impressed me last time I seen him fight, dude. The Cubano looks good. He's still young. I think he needs more experience. So I don't think they should throw him out there with the guys out there, but give him fights, get him active. He's good.
Oh yeah. The Cuban Reynoso has. Oh yeah, dude. He looks
Yeah.
fire.
Sanchez, right? That's his name, Sanchez. I
Sanchez,
think.
yeah. No, not Mark Sanchez. I forgot. Sanchez something. Cuban. Is he a southpaw? I think so. I forgot. Most Cubans are southpaw, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But I'm talking about Ortiz. Ortiz versus the heavyweight, what's his name?
King Kong Ortiz.
King Kong Ortiz versus Reese.
Yeah.
Is that a good fight for he should take it next?
Damn, King Kong is...
He has Reynoso, and he's coming out of a win. It wasn't the prettiest win. He won. He got dropped, got back up, and he showed guts, and he won the fight.
Yeah, why not? Maybe that will be another test to see where he's at before he takes another fight like Joshua or Fury or something like that. I think that's a big test because King Kong it's very versatile. Dude, he's pretty good. Even though he's old already, he can box.
Oh yeah, southpaw. And he has power. He had Deontay Wilder hurt, man. When they fought.
Did, and he just But I think he got too excited. He didn't know how to control his emotion and stuff. He got too carried away. But
so
we'll see.
We talked about this last time. Give it to me without everything we say. We're because we're keeping it raw like sushi. We keep it real. When Mexican fighters fight Chicanos, the Mexican fighter, for example, Marquez, when he fought Baby Bull from Texas, he told him, "You're not Mexican. You're half Mexican. There's a difference. You're half Mexican." And the Baby Bull got pissed, bro. That Baby Bull got pissed because Marquez told, "You're not full Mexican, bro." And there's a difference between boxeo mexicano and boxeo americano or Mexican American, whatever you want to call it. There's a difference, and for some reason, the Chicano, like Victor Ortiz, Garcia, the kid with Reynoso, Panchito Bojado, on and on and on. Like the Chicano, they get off track. Like something happens because maybe they're not that poor. Of course, we come from the margins. They come from poor. Boxing is a poor man's sport. But there's a difference between being poor in Mexico and being poor in the United States. Or do I see the difference? And why do they say you're not real Mexican? And why does the Chicano sometimes gets off track? Can you give me a spill on that a little bit?
Yeah. I think it has to do that just like you said, bro. Part of it is your culture and where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. I think those Mexican fighters down in Mexico, mm-hmm. They get the opportunity, they're gonna take advantage. They're gonna go balls out. That's the way to make it to the top. Or so what do? They'll risk their life, on a fight. They're not gonna give up. That's what they're gonna go. They're gonna go with that heart. They're gonna go with that mentality. I think when they're trained. They train with that mentality, mm-hmm. because they have no option. Once you dedicate yourself to boxing, what else can you do? It's either boxing or you go and get a freaking messed up job, that where you're barely going to be able to survive, Yeah. So we're here, just like you said, most Chicano fighters, they have options, Yeah. They have options. So sometimes like Victor Ortiz on that fight when he quit, he was doing good. And sometimes a lot of them, what they're very good fighters, good strategy, good technique, mm-hmm. But I think a lot of times they lack that heart, they don't have the freaking what they call, balls, Yeah. And very few boxers that I can remember that were Chicanos that had that heart,
Mikey, Vargas, De La Hoya. They were American, and their style was a little different. They were boxer technician,
technician, yeah.
And the stereotype of the Mexican fighter is hasta morir, Margarito, Barrera, Morales, hasta morir, dude. Chavez.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Israel Vasquez, all of them. Look at how they ended up. Yeah. It's like Oscar Valdez not that long ago when they broke his jaw. He finished the fight with the broken jaw, bro, but they're not going to quit. Yeah. It's like I said, these guys, they came from like maybe neighborhoods or families where they're starving, so they get the opportunity and you gotta almost kill them, you know, in order to make them to beat them, you know.
I'd
And
say
also
all them.
when you get those two Mexicans fighting, dude, they're gonna give you a war.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's the difference that I seen, that like, uh Mexican American ones, there we have great talent, but we get off track, a little bit. Like I said, Garcia, like what he's on the internet, on Instagram, and hey, like, dude, respect the game, or the game's gonna disrespect you. Like, love these guys in third world countries, dude. They don't eat sometimes, and they're still training.
Yeah,
They know
exactly.
they're gonna get a little bit, maybe see stardom, because they saw Canelo, or they seen Chavez and or Morales. Morales comes from Tijuana, the slums of Tijuana, dude.
Yeah.
It can't get worse than that, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what my dad tells me. And I remember on the Baby Bull and Marquez, he told him, "You're not Mexican, you're half." And Baby Bull got pissed. And
Yeah.
Baby Bull was a killer. I mean, he didn't have power, but he was a great fighter.
Oh yeah.
But Marquez was a Hall
No,
of Famer, man.
Marquez. Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
man.
yeah, you're right. You're right. So
But
and,
yeah.
uh-huh.
No, go ahead.
And I think, you know, going back to Canelo, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of Mexicans in Mexico,
Yeah.
particularly Mexico, don't like him because of his style. He doesn't exchange the way we're used to seeing a Mexican type of fighter get in there and get those wars. You know, they want to see blood, you know, exchange. You know, but you know the game has evolved. You know, I think it's a different ballgame for Canelo. Reynoso's training him to, you know, not just go forward. You know, think about it. You know, have strategy. It's more of an all-around game. You know, it's like protect yourself, try not to get hit, and you know, do as much damage as you can. You know, avoiding getting hit. You know, not just exchanging. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of them fighters, like, you know, they didn't end up good because it's so much punishment that they receive, you know. And unfortunately there wasn't that much money, you know, paying them and stuff. So I mean, like I said, Canelo's changing the ball game little by little. Some people like it, some people don't, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, it's he's, like they say, reinventing the wheel. He's coming with that Mexican style when you need to, but he has
When
that
you need
American
to.
style. Oh,
Yep.
hit and don't get hit, slick fighter, walk you down, box. He uses the ring. He can do it all. They said he was flat. Remember back in the days? Not no
Yeah.
more.
Not
He's
no
in,
more.
and it's
Yep.
right now, man. We have a great representation of boxeo mexicano and boxing, and man, I'm so
No,
excited,
yeah.
man. I love it, dude. The face of boxing.
Yeah. No. I agree, bro. I agree. I think he's a combination of both, and he shows the Mexican part when he needs to, when he has to,
Yeah.
and he shows the American style where, you know, for the most part, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to cover?
No. I mean, it's just great having you here, Mike. And you know, boxing is it's life, bro. No boxing, no life. Remember that.
No boxing, no life, though, like Reynoso, man.
That's right.
Hey, man, thank you for stopping by, man. You're part of the show. If you, man, without even saying it, you're part of the show, Mike Angelino Sports. And if I need a historian or aficionado, insider of the game, I call you. I hit you. Hey, man, stop by in the show. You were busy. Look, you're in your car, but you took the time to bless us with your time, man. And the Mike Angelino followers, I'm getting a little bit bigger and a little bit better. More people listening, and man, definitely I will want you in the show after every big fight, brother.
Anytime, bro. We're here to support Mike El Angelino, numero uno, mero.
Where can we
That's
catch
right,
you?
bro.
What's your handle, brother? If they want to ask you questions about the game of boxeo, man.
This
Instagram.
is
Where do
the best. Right here. Just write it down. You got my email right there.
Yeah, I'll put your Instagram in the bottom if you don't mind, just in case
That's
somebody
good.
wants to hit you up.
Yeah.
I'll put it, man.
Anytime, bro. Well, I'm
But yeah,
always
man.
open for any boxing discussion, you know.
Oh yeah,
And
oh
hey,
yeah.
Mike, you're doing great, bro. Keep it up, bro. We need that. You know, we need those insiders like, you know, to make it grow. You know, teach the youngsters. You know, change the perspective of boxing. You know,
Oh yeah, oh
so
yeah.
it's great. Boxing's back. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Thank you for your time. The man, the myth, the legend, the homie Edgar. Thank you, brother.
Peace out, bro.
All right, man.
All
Peace
right.
out.